What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizone. Before I go off, excuse me if my voice is not that loud, but it's kind of gone. So, yeah, stick around. I'm thinking. Um, we are gonna talk about Fresneda because he's in the news again, and we are gonna talk about a little bit about the game, the players coming back, especially that. That's what I want to talk about. Um, But before we get into it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel as always. Let me see if this is moving correctly. Let me get this right. Okay. Fresneda or Parisi? That's a good question. That's a very good question. I'll keep that for later on. But yeah, Fresneda. Fresneda is, I think, is the name we are being linked with the most at the moment, or like more likely to arrive, or if we do any type of business, it should be Fresneda, or like going off reports and rumors, it's gonna be Fresneda, right? Again, I think if we do any business in January, it needs to be a right back. It desperately needs to be a right back because Cuadrado is struggling with his knee. He's supposed to be back. De Chilio supposed to be back, but he's just a walking injury and he's just not good enough. So just forget about De Chilio because he's been out for I don't know how many months now. Like, is he still alive at this point? I saw a pic of him celebrating Christmas, and that's what reminded me. Oh, he still plays for the club, but he's never he's never fit. Excuse me, and he's just not good enough. Period. So if we do any type of business in January, I think it needs to be a right back. Unless again you sell McKennie and you sell Rabiot, then obviously that changes. But if you aren't going to do any type of business now, it probably is going to be a right back if you're going to want to bring someone in. And Fresneda is the name we're being linked with. I'm going to say more frequently in terms of that's the name, like usually during the transfer season, January, um, January or in the summer. Like usually you have 1, 2, 3 names, and they just pop up again every single day, week in, week out, day in, day out. It's Locatelli, or it's Pogba, or it's Vlahovic at a certain point. Now, this Fresneda kid, we were linked with him. I never watched him play. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched a single minute. I just looked up, like I think like most of people looked up some stats. I read some scouting reports, and then last Friday, I'm gonna say it was Real Madrid Valladolid. So I decided gonna watch that game, keep an eye on him, and he was impressive. I think in that first half, especially in that first half, I thought he was the best player on that pitch. Like defensively, solid, like absolutely solid. Offensively, it's a bit less. Like it's not that amazing or eye popping, eye catching. But I think that's fine. Like, do I want an offensive right back, left back? Yes. But at that point, I want to play offensive football in general. I don't think we're going to do that anytime soon. Again, people, excuse me for my voice, but it's very. Yeah, it's gone. I don't think we're going to play offensive football anytime soon, especially when Allegri's out there. But you can improve that. He's 18, so you can improve that to a very respectable level. Now, he's very good on the ball. He is. I thought he was actually kind of impressive on the ball. Like, he can play it out from the back, very calmly. He is in control. He doesn't lose his poise. Defensively, he's solid. Like, absolutely solid. He has some recovery pace. Going forward, again, it's a bit hit and miss, but again, fine. For an 18-year-old, he's impressive. Or like, and again, it's one game. I only watch one game, but I need to base it on one game. And I think he played very well. I think he played very, very well in that game on a big stage, excuse me, because it's still Real Madrid. It's still Real Madrid. Now, why do I bring up this story again? Because Romano spoke, and I'll read out the comments in a sec. Here we go. So Romano spoke. I think he tweeted something out a few days ago, I think as well, saying we are one of the teams being interested. Today he came out saying Newcastle, Juve, and Dortmund are in the race for Fresneda, as reported last week. He said Newcastle are exploring new right-back options and already have first contact for Fresneda. Now, going off reports that we don't have a lot of money, that we are going on a different route in terms of we are going to go for younger players, Italian, non-Italian, but players we can develop on low wages and we can possibly sell on and make a profit in the future. Then he fits that bill from A to Z completely. You know, he's young, relatively cheap. Now, if you go into a bidding war, then of course it's not that cheap. But he's relatively cheap. He will not come in on big wages, and he fills in position we need. Because Cuadrado's out, De Chilio stinks. So he fills in a position we desperately need. So he ticks all the boxes. Now, I bring up the story because if this is true, let me get this out of the way. If this is true, then Newcastle already had talks. It can get sticky really quickly because Newcastle have money. They probably have the most money out of any European club to spend, which is maybe sounds ridiculous, but they do. But they're going around with their business really smartly. They're not burning money. They're not throwing money away. They're getting one player every single window. Guimaraes, Botman. I'm not saying Fresneda is that key one, but you know, you got the idea what they're trying to do. They're just adding little pieces, and they're building something quite impressive because I watched them play against Leeds. 0-0. They should have won that game easily. They play great football. They're in the top 4 in the Premier League for a reason. And that kind of scares me if he's a real target. And he should be a real target if you are pushing that new direction. Because you're going to need a right back. You just need, you know, you have Cambiasso, right and left back. You have Cambiasso. I don't think he's good enough. You have Sandro's going to leave. Cuadrado's going to leave. De Chilio's not fit. Danilo is being used at center back. So you're going to need to fill in that position one way or another. And this smells like an opportunity. Now, I'm not sure we're going to take it because if Newcastle already had talks, it can go, you know, a long way again. If he says, I don't want to join Newcastle, I want to join Juve, you know how the thing works. But I think if he's a real target, we need to go, quote unquote, all in now. Like, you need to do it now. And I saw a question. Let me bring it up. Let me see. I think it was from Stark, saying, when do you think he can arrive? After 18th of January. So I'm not saying he's coming, but if something happens, it's after the 18th, because then the board gets, quote unquote, officially elected. I think at that point you can officially make deals happen. But Cherubini is there. We know who's going to be in the board. If we're going to do something, they're already working on it. Just officially, nothing can come out until then, quote unquote. But there's no real news that we are actively in talks with Valladolid or his agent or whatever. We're not. We're just showing interest, and maybe they talk to his manager or Valladolid, just asking like normal questions like you do when you're scouting players all over the world, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't know what you guys think, because I saw another question. Someone saying he got skills. Renewal for the which other options are out there? Let me know in the comments. Which other options who are cheap, because that's what we're kind of looking at, and they look promising, are out there. So let me know in the comments, because for left back, it's clear who the target is in the summer. It's gonna be it's gonna be Grimaldo. In the summer, the target it's gonna be Grimaldo, because he's free. We have been lobbying him for quite a lot. So are Inter, but like he's probably gonna be the main target for in the summer. I'm fine with that because we have so many positions to fill. But for right back, someone's Aldo saying Frimpong. We're not gonna get we're not gonna. If we go into a bidding war to get Frimpong, you know how that's gonna end. Like, we're not gonna get Frimpong. That's like, yeah, I will take Frimpong, but we're not gonna get him. It's just, I don't think it's just gonna happen. Singo, I love Singo, but how much will he cost? Will he cost the 18 mil Valladolid, 15 to 18 Valladolid one for Fresneda? I do love Singo. I think he's a great player, and he can fit in and do the job immediately, 100%. But I think he's gonna cost way too much for the club's liking. That's just my personal opinion. Again, it's Torino, so you're gonna pay a little bit more. Pavard, no chance. Like, keep Pavard away from the club. Just don't don't do Pavard. Don't do the Pavard deal. Miller rumors keep circling too. I hope they keep circling. I hope the circle never ends. Because I don't want Miller. I don't think he will take us to that next level where you're like, yeah, direct impact for the coming years. I don't have that feeling with Miller, and I've watched him so many times. Like, I've watched him more in Belgium when he played over here than in Atalanta, but it's not going well at Atalanta. Like, it's just not. And from what I know about him, I don't think he fits the bill. If you play in a 3-5-2, I'm not sure. Like, that name, because I watch him play so many times, it doesn't do anything with me, like, personally. So no, for me, no. Dalot, I see Dalot shouts. No, I'm not a fan of Dalot. Like, do people like Dalot? In the chat, let me know, because I'm not a fan of Dalot. Like, I'm just not. You know, when he was a Benfica, I did like him. When he moved to Man U, it didn't work out. He went to Milan. I thought it was even worse. He came back to Man U, had a few good games, but when I watch Dalot, I'm just not excited. Like, he doesn't strike me like a player where I'm like, okay, he's gonna make the difference very often. Like, he doesn't strike me as that player. Like, he's very inconsistent as well, in my opinion. So no, Dalot is a no for me. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. Dalot has been very impressive this season. He had good games, but I don't know. Like, when I watch him, I'm like, sometimes he has an amazing cross on him, and then sometimes defensively he's good, but he switches it off also with completely off days. Again, every player can have an off day, but I think he has that way too often ever since he joined Man U, basically the first time. So that being said, it's a no for me. Like, just no. Also because he came into the league in Serie A, and it didn't go well. Like, if we're being completely honest, again, that Milan team was on a different, I want to say, level, different vibe. They had things rolling, so maybe that's why it was difficult for him to come in and be a difference maker. But yeah, no Dalot. I saw another name popping up. Let me see. John Foyt as an option. Now, when he played at Tottenham, nope. Then he made that move to Villarreal. He actually plays well, but it's a no for me. Like no, but he's doing well at Villarreal. I'll give him that. But as well, no, not for me. Um, Mohamed is saying consistency is important. I don't think he is. Agree with Dalo. I don't think he's very consistent. I think that's the biggest issue with him. I think that's why he plays and then he doesn't play. Like usually, if you're a good right or left back at any team, you play almost week in week out because it's very difficult to get a class right left back. But his career screams like inconsistent. Just my personal opinion. Someone brought up McKennie really quickly. You can go to Newcastle. I see that happening. The way Newcastle play and the players they're looking at now, I don't see them going for McKennie. They could surely pay them money, 100%. But I don't. Excuse me. I don't see them going for McKennie. I talked about him in my daily for the Bournemouth news links with McKennie. I'm so confused. Like that 35 to 40 mil asking price we are reportedly asking, that surely cannot happen. Like, I mean, if it happens, amazing, but like nobody's gonna pay that. But they can surely pay it. Newcastle can pay that money, but I don't think they're looking at McKennie. I don't think they want McKennie. Just my personal opinion. Let me see. Pedro Porro, best right back possible, but we'll never get him. I mean, yeah. that my question was, who's out there we can get possibly, like on a good money price with kind of low competition, because that's what we're looking at this moment in time. If we're being completely honest with ourselves, that's what we are in. Like that's the situation we are in. So we need to find quote unquote gems, basically. That's what we need to do at this moment in time. The positive thing is anyone will come. We be an upgrade for us. We can go worse than this. That's true, but that's like saying. Remember when Pellegrini came in for Alexandro? He played a few games and he played better, and everybody was like, play Pellegrini. And I came on week in, week out, and I said, yes, he's playing better, but he's still bang average. So maybe it's an upgrade at a time, but how is that helping us? Like, it's still bad. And I was getting slaughtered for it because I don't rate Pellegrini. I'm like, yeah, he played a few games better than Alexandro. Not difficult to do, but it was still average. It was still bad. Like, it was still not good enough. So I get that point. But, like, it needs to be something sustainable for the coming, if possible, 4 or 5 years, whatever. Like, you have a player, a right back, and a left back that you're looking at and you're like, those are the main guys. They're probably going to play 75% of the games in the season, and they're going to make the difference, you know? Like, we had a back three of Barzagli, Bonucci, Chiellini. Like, that was a difference. Or you had Dybala, Higuain up top, or the Tevez and whatever up top. Or you had a midfield of Pirlo. Like, you had three-man midfield that was world-class. Again, difficult to do now, but, like, players that are going to make the difference week in, week out. I think that's what we need now. But yeah, let's see. Singo, we already mentioned Singo. I think, yeah, I would take him, but I think the asking price is gonna be quite spicy. Molina, yeah, never gonna happen. Joao Mario, no. I watch too little, so I can. No, I cannot form an opinion. I watched too little. Like, I actually watched not even a full game of Porto this season. Did I? I don't think I did. No. So I cannot form an opinion on it, to be honest. I don't even think I watched Porto this season, to be honest. Who did they play in the Champions League? Maybe I did. I cannot. They played Bruges, so I did watch a game. But they got slapped 5-0 at home, or 5-1, right? Did he play that game? Because I cannot recall that, to be honest. Um, but I think Fresneda at the moment is the main guy, or like the main target, or like the most realistic option out there for us. But again, if Newcastle is in the mix, then it can be a long day. It could be a very, very long day if we are serious about trying to get him, of course. We need to find a replacement for years to come, not temporary measures. I agree. I think center back to partner Bremer and a right and left back 100%, and then one guy in midfield as well for the coming, like you say, 4 or 5 years. Build a core of a good center back partnership, a respectable left and right back like Lichtsteiner, Asamoah. Those were respectable options. I'm already okay with that. Like, it doesn't need to be Hakimi and Trent, or like you get the grasp, or Alphonso Davies, whatever. It needs to be respectable. Lichtsteiner, Asamoah, they could do the job. I'll take that. That's what I want now. That's just what I want. That's good enough. Yeah, I saw the links with Guerrero. Like, he's too old. Like, forget about it. Don't do it. I don't know how old Grimaldo is. Can anyone tell me that? Is he 28? Is he 28, Grimaldo? But he's free. If you can get good 4 years out of him, I'm okay with that. But again, don't 29. That's already pushing. Like the DePaul rumors. 25 is Grimaldo. Holy snap! I thought he was older. I actually thought he was 27, 28. Okay, so many. Is he 25 or 27? Somebody let me know, because I thought he was 27, 28. Grimaldo is 27. Okay. But again, that's good. That should be prime years. If you can get, if you can get a good 4 years out of him, great, on a free, like amazing. But like 29, I saw the DePaul rumors. I made my daily video on it. I'm like, no. That's not what we need to do at this moment in time. Like, just forget about it. Even Milinkovic, Savic, I was pushing for it. Now, sitting back, I'm like, yeah, it's not smart. Because like now I'm realizing what we need, who we're going to lose. I'm realizing that maybe spending your complete transfer budget on one player it's not the way to go. Like, it's just not the way to go. Again, if you can get him on a discount price, whatever, because Lazio are interested in Pellegrini, and Rugani's name is gonna pop up with Sarri one more time. So if you can manage to do something, anything with that, then of course. But like spending 70 mil, whatever, on Savic might not be the smartest thing we can do in our current situation. Let me see. Mohamed is saying he's turning 27. He's 27, turning 28. Savic. Yeah. Like, I'm already pushing back. I still will take him if he's on a cheap, because I think he's a fantastic player. And 28 for a midfielder is prime years, especially with a midfielder of that caliber, of that talent. 4 years, you can get 4 years, very good years out of him if you maximize it. I'm okay with that. But it should not, cost your entire transfer budget, of course. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Please like the video if you're in it, by the way. I've not seen the Ryan Nuri and Mikani swap rumors. Where are those coming from? If somebody can tell me, let me see. Who said that? Because I've not seen it. Can anyone tell me that? I've not seen it. I've not seen him. To be honest, I've not seen the rumors. Let me check. No, I've not seen it. But I watched him play in the weekend. Was it against Man U? I've not heard about that rumor. I've watched him play against Man U on the weekend. He wasn't that good, to be honest. But I don't want to swap. No, I want money from McKennie. I just want cash. We shouldn't be pushed into making a deal we are not really looking to do. But we do need a left back. Like, I agree with that. But I'd rather have money for McKennie and get Grimaldo on a free, if that makes sense. Because we need to replace Quadrado, Di Maria, Paredes, depending. Rovella comes back, I don't know. Rugani, hopefully, and who knows, maybe Bonucci. I'm just saying. Alexandro. So we need to replace a lot of players. I'd rather have cash in my money rather than being forced to take on a player you're probably not really looking at, to be honest. I just joined. I don't know if you mentioned it, but are there any rumors how much does Vlahovic ask for Fresneda? So the rumors are around 18 mil. That's what the rumor was 2-3 weeks ago. It was between 15 and 20 mil, 18 mil middle ground. But if Newcastle are in the mix and Dortmund are in the mix, then you know how things are going to go really quickly. Juve could just promote Barbieri. He's already 20 years. Give him a shot, maybe. And we know Allegri likes a 3-5-2. That's the talk in the town at this moment in time. Who's going to play against Cremonese? Is it going to be Ake? Is it going to be Barbieri? Or is it going to be Sule in the 3-5-2? I want Sule to play. I actually don't want him to play in the 3-5-2. I'm not going to lie. I don't think that's very good. I don't think that's very good for Ake as well, but I think he can cope with it much better, in my opinion, if that makes any sense. But Barbieri could play that. But I don't think he's going to play Barbieri. I don't think he's going to do that. I rather think he's going to play McKennie or Sule because they have quote-unquote more experience, basically. And they'll probably figure it out how to, defend during the game against Cremonese. It's as simple as that. I understand needing a left back, but what about Kostic there for now in a 4-3-3? You can have Danilo, right back, Bremer, right center. No. No, I don't want to see Kostic out there because he cannot defend. Kostic is not good at defending, and I don't think his feet are good enough to be out there at the back, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Also, he was kind of hot before the World Cup break, so I'm not sure if, playing him in a complete different position is a good idea, to be honest. Sule impressed me, bro, but I like Sule higher up. Very impressive. Yeah, I don't want to see. Remember the game Fiorentina away this season, and we played Ake. Was it Ake? And everybody was hyped. And then we played a back five, basically, and he got hooked at halftime. Not his fault, but he's also not that type of player. And you're asking him to do something he cannot do, so it will look very average. And yeah, he got hooked, but it was not his fault. Also, nothing changed in the second half, so it was kind of pointless to play him in the first time to start off, basically. But I agree, I guess. What do I think about the goalie? I'm not sure about the goalie situation because we have Perin and we have McKennie. We have Chesney on a deal. So I don't really understand the rumors. Maybe they're going to buy one and loan him out. But then again, Chesney is here for 2 years. Perin is here. I'm still confused about the goalie rumors unless they already know Chesney is going to leave in the summer or Perin is going to leave and he wants to play again. I'm not sure about that. So let's see how that will develop in the summer because I'm confused about those rumors still. Sule will struggle in defensive phase. I agree with that. I do agree. But let me bring up the last piece of news before I'm going to wrap it up. Where is it? Here we go. I want to talk about this because it's game week. We're back. We are back. We play on Wednesday with an injured squad. 2 Argentine players coming back, but they're they're just back, so they're not going to play. I'm probably not going to play against Udinese. But Giovanni Albanese and Juve are reporting that positive signs for Chiesa. He will be called up regularly for Cremonese. He will be on the bench. Allegri could even give him some minutes, and then Chesney did the entire training with the group. So he had that neck issue, I think it was, against Sanad. He came back, so I'll guess that's good. I guess Chiesa. Um, I'm a bit frustrated and a bit worried, to be honest, with the Chiesa thing um, because it's taking way too long, in my opinion. Like, it's taking way too long, and I'm kind of getting worried about the Chiesa situation because he came back playing, then he went out, he had that little setback, it was nothing. Okay, we entered the national break, so we can play, I get it. Then in training, that knock, but it doesn't feel like he took a knock. It feels like something completely different, in my opinion. And again, he's out. Maybe he's going to get a few minutes against Cremonese, but to be honest, the way things are going, I don't think we're going to see him against Cremonese, which is very worrying because he's been out for more than a year now. I get the World Cup is in between, but like he played 20 minutes or 30 minutes in total before that. Setback, another setback, whatever you want to call it. It's getting a bit worrying, in my opinion. It's not looking amazing, in my opinion. Like, I'm a bit, how you want to call it? I'm a bit worried. I'm slightly worried. I'm not gonna lie. I'm slightly worried about that whole Chiesa situation. Let me see. But yeah, let's see how we all come back, basically, I guess. Let me see. He should be starting. I remember in November we were thankful of the World Cup break because Pogba and Chiesa were coming back. Very worrying indeed. Yeah, like I think going into that World Cup break, everybody was like, okay, Chiesa's gonna be back. Pogba's gonna be back very soon. And they're not. They're just not. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. We need him. We desperately need him. The way we play, we wait on those moments, and well, you need players on that pitch to hand you those moments. And Di Maria, Chiesa, these guys need to be out there, and they're not out there. And even against Cremonese, yes, we will struggle. No wins Cremonese, we will struggle to create. We will. Like, you just know that. Let me see. He would start for any club of the world. We just have clowns at the Continental, so I'm not sure who you're talking about. But that's sometimes what happened with an ACL injury. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, they were very cautious going to that World Cup break, and he's still out, for I don't know how long, It's very worrying. The medical team at the club is an issue. Like, we have so many injuries during games, in practice, during warm up of games even. Like, it happens a lot, or like a lot more than it should happen, and it's very worrying. It's just frustrating, and you start to question what is the club thinking at this point, because it's an ongoing issue. Not this year. It's dating back to Sadi's days, basically, or like Pirlo days especially. So I'm not sure what the club is doing there, to be honest. In the USA, for basketball and football players, the ACL injury is no longer a problem. I don't know what's up with J Medical. Again, football, I get it. Again, like, Odell Beckham is also out for quite a while, but like not a year, to be honest. But like, come on, a year. Like, it's a year. I'm just worried. I'm starting to worry. I'm not gonna lie, because the feeling I'm having looking at the Chiesa situation with the setbacks and the cautiousness, it feels like he's gonna come back and he's gonna, like, I don't want it to happen, knock on wood, but he's probably gonna be gone and back and gone and back. That's the vibe I'm getting at this point, and it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. Of course, depends on the player. Like working back hard, it all matters. Um, but yeah, I'm just worried because we need him. We really really need him. We need him desperately. Yeah, worry. It's as simple as that. In Europa League fixtures come fast, so it's only going to get worse. We don't have the depth. That's what I talked about. With my earlier video, why Di Maria and Paredes are allowed to be away from the club for this long when we are desperately in need for players, especially in that position as well. I don't get it, but it is what it is, I guess. You can say nothing about it. That's the club. That's Allegri's decision, basically. And we need to live with it. But the Chiesa thing got me worried. It really gets me worried for the remainder of the season. But again, don't want to be too negative. Hope he comes back. Hopefully he plays against Cremonese. I don't think so. Depending on the game, maybe if you're up by a few goals, which probably is not going to happen, I don't think he's going to put him in to, change the game. I don't think he's going to risk that. But that's the situation we're in, I guess. I'm going to wrap it up because, it's getting very late and I discussed everything I want to discuss. Again, excuse me for my voice, but it's kind of gone. So I hope everything was clear, what I said. Before everybody leaves, please like the video, subscribe, go watch the daily. Tomorrow at midday, there will be a video about 3 things we need to do to beat Cremonese, something new I'm going to do. And there will be a preview, for the Cremonese game with Julian on Wednesday. We play, obviously, direct content, direct match reaction after the game, and also a live at the same time as today. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, thanks everybody watching, for tuning in, and we will see you back tomorrow.